What's up, brothers? This is OuweSok. This is going to be probably one of my very last Battle Brothers videos. I just bought another game. That game is probably going to be taking over my gaming life. So in this specific video, I want to be talking to you about evaluating melee brothers, frontliners to be specific. During a game, especially in the early game and in the mid game, you will be continuously looking at your brothers and evaluating whether they are good, whether they are fodder, whether they are endgame brothers, or whether they are mediocre. And depending on how good they are, you will be putting them into more or less risky spots when you're doing a battle. And when you have a full roster, like I have here in this campaign, 18 out of 18 brothers, if you want to hire new brothers, then you will have to dismiss whatever is your worst brother. So during the campaign, so for example here, we are at day 125 in my Oath Takers campaign. During your game, you will have a roster of a lot of different brothers of different levels with different skills. And it is hard for you to figure out exactly how good a brother is compared to all the rest. And also this is something that can change during a game. You can level up a brother 3 times and get a lot of very good rolls, and suddenly your average brother becomes very good. Or the reverse can happen. You can have a decent brother that gets a couple of bad rolls and he ends up being a follow bro. So during a game you will be continuously looking at your brothers. So let's have a look through my current roster. So we have a level 8 brother here, a level 10, level 10. This is a finished brother at level 11. Then we have here a pretty new brother, promising, level 4, level 11, 6, 7. So we have a range of brothers. And comparing them to each other, that's a complicated task, as you will have to consider their current stats, you will have to consider their stars, and it's a complicated process. So what I've done is I've put this into a spreadsheet. So here are my 13 brothers, their name and their background, the build that they're going to be. So I have got 9 Battleforged brothers and 4 Dodge Nimble guys, the current level, the current melee skill, the number of stars they have in melee skill, and the expected value at level 11. So for a frontliner you expect to upgrade melee skill every time. So you can calculate what will be the expected value at level 11. So for example, Hjalmar is already level 11. He has a current melee skill of 93, so expected value at level 11 is 93. That's trivial. Bernfried, for example, is level 4. Current level is 76. He's got 2 stars. So he will be leveling up 7 times 3 is 21. 76 plus 21 is 97. So here are the expected values at level 11 for melee skill. The next column is the weight. It's like the value I give to this specific skill. So melee skill I have weighted at 2. Next come ranged skill. I weight this at 0. I don't care about range skill. These are frontliners. Melee defense, I've done the same as for melee skill. So the current value, the stars, and the expected value at level 11, assuming you are leveling up every time. And the weight of melee defense is 2.5. I value melee defense higher than I value melee skill. Next comes range defense, which I have valued at 0, which is not entirely accurate. You should be maybe putting it at 0.1 or 0.2 because it has some value. Ruthard with 18 range defense will do better against ranged units like goblins than Dirk the Duelist with -6 range defense, especially because he is dodge nimble. A couple of arrows can really hurt his armor and start eating at his hit points. So range defense does matter, but for the purposes of simplicity, I've put it at weight of 0. Then come hit points, fatigue, and resolve. This is an interesting leveling process where you are upgrading melee defense and melee attack every level. hit points, fatigue, and resolve, you are probably leveling up once every level, only one of these three stats. So when you're leveling up, you are leveling up one level into melee defense, one level into melee attack, and the other one goes either in hit points or in fatigue or in resolve. And finally, initiative with his weight. So the most complicated part of this spreadsheet is calculating the expected value of hit points, fatigue, and resolve, because you will not be leveling them all the time. You will be leveling them then maybe about 1 in 3. You'll put 1 in 3 levels into hit points, 1 in 3 into fatigue, 1 in 3 into resolve. And the expected value depends on the stars that they have in hit points, fatigue, and resolve. So let's have a look at this a little bit deeper. Let's have a look at leveling up fatigue, resolve, and hit points, assuming you have 0 stars. So when you have 0 stars on all of these 3 stats, when you're leveling up, you have like 27 combinations of values that will be presented for your level. It can range from 222, the very worst, until 444. And what you will usually do when you're leveling up fatigue, resolve, and hit points is you take whatever rolls best. So here you will take 2 because there's nothing else, but if you can grab a 3, you will grab 3 over a 2, and if you can grab a 4, you will grab a 4. So here, this is the maximum value of these 3, so the highest, and I've taken the average, which is 3.66. So if you're leveling up 10 times resolve, fatigue, and hit points, you get an expected value of about 36.6 after 10 levels. It's probably a bit lower because at some point maybe you say, I don't want to resolve, I don't want the level of resolve anymore. So instead of taking the 4 I roll at resolve, I will take the 3 I roll at fatigue. So let's say, as an approximation for me, if one of these skills has 0 stars, you will be leveling it up with about 3.5 on average. If the stat has 2 stars, then you will be leveling up by 4. That's mathematically certain. So the value of 2 stars is you'll be leveling up this stat by 4. So by extrapolation, 1 star has approximately a value of 3.75. 3 stars has a value of 1 more than this. So here, when you have 1 star, you will be getting a roll of 3 or 4. You will usually take 4, so it's about 3.75. If you have 3 stars, you will get 4 or 5 and usually take the 5, so it will be about 4.75. So what you see here, for example, is that 3 stars is really valuable asset to have. It will strongly increase, let's say, the how this brother will level up. So that's a little sidestep into evaluating and upgrading resolve, fatigue, and hit points. So let's go back. So I've put an expected value here. This formula uses this value of the that I just described, depending on the amount of stars, and I've divided by 3 at the end, so that I work with the assumption that you will be upgrading hit points, fatigue, and resolve 1/3 of the time. So at the end you have an approximate value, expected value for hit points, an approximate expected value for fatigue, and an approximate value for resolve. What I do at the end is I calculate a total score for this specific brother, which is very simple. Melee skill multiplied by weight, range skill multiplied by weight, melee defense multiple defense EV multiplied by weight, range defense multiplied by weight, hit points EV multiplied by weight, fatigue EV multiplied by weight, resolve the same, and initiative multiplied by weight. And I sum all this, and this gives me a value, let's say, more or less objective value of the strength of this brother. So with this calculation, you see that my level 4 brother is actually one of my most powerful brothers. And you can see that my Daydailer and Deserter are at the lower end. So if I am going to have to fire 2 people, then probably it's going to have to be them. And also you can see how the Dodge Nimble guys compare to each other. It's going to be hard to compare the Belfort brother with the Dodge Nimble brothers because the formula is different. Here you value initiative at 0.25, while for the Belfort brother you value initiative at 0. But in general, you will be able to compare the Dodge Nimble brothers with each other and your Belfort brother with each other, and you can determine as the game progresses which are your most valuable brothers. And well, every 40 or 50 days maybe you go through this exercise and you redefine which are your best brothers and which are your worst brothers. And this helps you defining which brothers to keep, which brothers to put in risky positions, and which brothers to dismiss when you need to make space. So this spreadsheet I will make available. I will put the link in the description of the video. I hope you will find it useful. I hope you were able to follow a little bit my thought process and how I got to these formulas and the final score. Hopefully you can use this to your advantage and evaluate your brothers while you are playing the game. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.